Wow, the end of an era, in Philadelphia Eagles lore. Ladies and gentlemen, A.J. Brown, star wide receiver, number 11 since 2022, has officially been traded to the New England Patriots, which everybody and their grandmama knew was going to happen post-June 1 deadline. Now, the compensation that we got, it was exactly what people thought we would get. It would be a first-round pick. We also got a fifth-round pick in conjunction with that, and we sent A.J. Brown to the New England Patriots, plus we save a few dollars on the cap space for the Eagles. Now, ESPN has an article up that shows you the exact compensation that we got here, and A.J. Brown was sent to the Patriots for a first-round pick in 2028 and a fifth-round pick in 2027. Now, I'm not going to lie, ladies and gentlemen. One, I was a proponent of not wanting to trade A.J. Brown. I am a big A.J. Brown fan. And before we go into what this could mean for us as Philadelphia Eagle fans and what this projection of a season could be, let's just say thank you to A.J. Brown. We thank him for his time in Philadelphia because he is by far, in my opinion, the best wide receiver we have had in franchise history. He helped us get the 2 NFC title games, helped us capture a Super Bowl, completely changed the dynamics of the passing game in Philadelphia, made Jalen Hurts a better quarterback, made Devontae Smith a better player, made this football team better and strive for greatness. And quite frankly, there were times where he single-handedly won football games for us because of his pure domination and his pure ability. So we thank A.J. Brown. There will be no A.J. Brown slander on this day and on this channel. We thank you, A.J. Brown, for your time in Philadelphia. Now, in regards to Harry Roseman, let me just say to other Eagle fans that this is a move that highlights why the Eagles are in rebuild mode. The fact that the first-round pick that they got for A.J. Brown was in 2028 is exactly why I feel this offseason was a pure rebuild. They are building for the future. They are building for the next rendition of the Philadelphia Eagles to the point where they're going to oust the coach and they're going to get rid of the quarterback. And guess what? That contract that Jalen Hurts has, that guaranteed money, the contract that again, in the next 2 seasons, there will be change at quarterback, and there will have been a change at head coach in Philadelphia. This is the vision. This is Howie's vision. This is why they have not been aggressive this offseason. This is why they have keep accumulating draft picks. This is why they have gone more towards the youth, not trading their young guys for veteran players to win now because they don't care about right now. And based on what the Rams have done, they also acquired Myles Garrett and they acquired Trent McDuffie. It seems to be the Rams, they're putting all their chips to the middle of the table to try to win a Super Bowl within the next year or two. Philadelphia, in my opinion, at least on paper, is not quite there to catch your Lombardi trophy within the next 2 years. I don't believe it. I felt, based on what they've gotten, based on their schedule, they were going to win 9 to 10 games. That's about where I feel. And if they get a wild card playoff berth, cool. I don't think we're a Super Bowl contending team, though. Now, when I say that this is a rebuilding year, I don't want it to sound insulting as if they're going to be tanking. But I don't believe they're competing for a Lombardi. They're seeing what they got and trying to build to the next few years. And we're going to talk about the reasons why in just a few moments. But before we do that, let me introduce you to the show. This right here is the Riding the Bench Eagles podcast. I am your host, Asif Badi. And like you, I'm a Birds fan that talks about the Birds, only the Birds and nothing but the Philadelphia Eagles. So please do us a favor here. Help us grow this channel organically by shooting this video a thumbs up, commenting your thoughts in the comment section below, and subscribe to the channel. Also, check us out on audio platforms such as Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Leave a 5-star review because in the end, it doesn't cost you a damn thing to go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We appreciate your support on the opposite side of the camera and on the opposite side of the airwaves. All right. The fact that A.J. Brown is now gone, you can look at it one of two ways. Okay, I'm going to start with the side of this shows that they're rebuilding, which has been my take all off season long. You get a 2028 first round pick and a 2027 fifth round pick. Now, why would you get a first round pick that's not going to be beneficial for you until 2 years from now? It shows to me you're going to be projecting yourself in a position, or you're projecting the Patriots rather, in a position 2 years down the line where you say they're going to be in a worse spot despite the accumulation of A.J. Brown. Potentially so. And we'll talk about that the other side of the coin and on the opposite side of the of this part of the segment here. The fact is, right now, A.J. Brown leaving the Philadelphia Eagles made the Philadelphia Eagles a worse football team. The talent is immense. His gravitational pull on a football field is immense. The fact that he was able to bail out the quarterback a lot of the times on errant throws. And granted, let's not just say that, oh, it was solely A.J. Brown, bailing out Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts also helped A.J. Brown improve his career trajectory as well. He was not putting up these types of numbers in Tennessee, okay? He was putting up big-time numbers here in Philadelphia, being the focal point of the offense with Jalen Hurts throwing him the football. So we are not going to also sit here and say that Jalen Hurts had no part in the build-up and the career of A.J. Brown. They both were mutually helping each other. They both had a great relationship. And it so happens now that the tenure between these two has run its course. And so you trade him, and we traded him. We gave a first and a third round pick, and we got back a first and a fifth round pick. So in that sense, a little bit of a clash, little bit of a, a push-pull type of thing. It was an even trade in terms of what we got from him, plus the compensation picks that we got. On the other hand, you got to look at it and say to yourself, okay, now that A.J. Brown's out of the building, what exactly is the projection for this Philadelphia Eagles offense? Because now, on June 1st, this football team is worse. And on this June 1st, we still have a rookie coordinator calling plays, running a whole new offense with a quarterback that the organization, in my opinion, believes is not a polished passer and wants to try to see if he has what it takes to be that guy. And they have a head coach that, again, my gut feeling is they believe is in a position where if he doesn't get a playoff win or two, and this offense does not look good, he's out of the building. So to me, all of that signs and tells me this team is in the transition mode of their rebuild. They are looking into the future, and that 2028 first round pick is going to be used to eventually trade either up in the draft or be used as ammunition to trade for a quarterback. I am not sitting here saying I believe Jalen Hurts is a problem. As a matter of fact, I believe a lot of the success that Philadelphia has had since his arrival has been due to him and Sirianni, and also the building of the roster of Howard Rosen. Let's not get it twisted. But if you look at it objectively, and I've had to swallow the hard pill now, Jalen Hurts at times is not a consistent passer, and thus the offense fluctuates. And this fluctuation is very, very troublesome to watch. It's awful to watch. And the owner, while he may not necessarily want a high-volume passing attack, he wants an effective passing attack. And you see it based throughout his whole career in Philadelphia. Jeffrey Lurie wants a high percentage and a high-octane offense because it's a blast to watch. This offense with Philadelphia, with Jalen Hurts and Sirianni, has not been that. They're hoping this year the overhaul that they're making with Sean Mannion and trading A.J. Brown and bringing in Mekhi Lemon and Devontae Wicks, all of these guys that they're bringing in the building, they're hoping that it will offset the mundane, boring, simplistic offense that they have had, which has been effective, by the way. Let's not get it twisted. It's been effective. But That style of offense was not conducive to A.J. Brown's production. And now people believe he's a declining player because of it. Let's put it this way. A.J. Brown going to New England already is going to have 1,300 yards receiving. He's still, in my opinion, a top 5 receiver in all of football. I think he's that good. I think he's still got a lot left in the tank. So losing a player like that means you got worse as a football team. And it's clear to me that since you're not extending Jalen Hurts, that you're looking to replace the quarterback in the next couple of years. And that first round pick in 2028 is going to be ammunition for you to be able to do that. Now let's look on the positive side of things, okay? That was my take. That's my belief of what's happening here in Philadelphia. Here's what I believe. On the positive side, you could look at as a fan and say, this is the viewpoint for why this A.J. Brown trade was good. You got exactly what you needed out of A.J. Brown in terms of the production value and the fact that you won a Lombardi trophy with him. No doubt about it. His 4-year tenure in Philadelphia is as good as it's been for any player in the National Football League, number one. And it's also been an era of Philadelphia Eagles football that we credit Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni for winning so much. Well, you know what? A.J. Brown's a part of that too. So you definitely got a lot of juice out of A.J. Brown, and you traded him to a team that clearly, while had all the leverage, clearly wanted him, and you got, at least on paper, the best deal possible for a guy like A.J. Brown. You got a first and a 5 for him. Potentially, that could be what was the maximum best value on the table. So you got it. You traded him when his value was high. You traded him to a team that would take on the cap hit. You traded him to a team that you believe in the next couple of years will have a little bit of a lesser season, which will help you build your roster. So now Howie Roseman has assets that he can use to develop the rest of the roster. And we know Howie Roseman, in my opinion, top 2-3 GM in all of football. I think probably the best GM in all of football. Has additional assets to be able to build a football team in the future. And we know what his track record is as of late in the first, second, and third round. Since Jalen Reagor's trade, since that Jalen Reagor pick, he has been sensational in the draft. So acquiring more picks in your pocket if you're Howie Roseman, and if you're an Eagle fan, you're saying to yourself, you know what? I feel confident that he's going to be able to do something good with this. The other thing that's positive about this A.J. Brown move is it clears up the rotation now. The cloud has been lifted off this football team. The saga, the drama, the questions being asked. Finito. Done. Zilch. It can now be focused all on football, trying to build the rest of the roster, trying to develop a comprehensive offense, trying to build a cohesive unit. And maybe, just maybe, another way you can look at this, think about some of the elite quarterbacks in the NFL. Pat Mahomes, Josh Allen, Tom Brady back in the day. Some guys become better quarterbacks when they don't have the bailout guy. And that's not to say, again, I am not saying this that A.J. Brown caused Jalen Hurts to regress. Not the case at all. I believe Jalen Hurts has had his own problems with his overall regression as a passer, but it's not to say that A.J. Brown wasn't like a big part of it. Anyway, Josh Allen became a better quarterback when they got rid of Stephon Diggs. Right? Most people would say he ended up winning a couple of MVPs, all that jazz, and proved to be a better passer once Stephon Diggs was gone. Pat Mahomes Once they got rid of Tyreek Hill, yes, they had Travis Kelce, but he became a better processor. He became a better tactician of a quarterback, started understanding coverages a bit more, being able to use, he won a damn Super Bowl against Philadelphia with Juju Smith-Schuster as his number one wide receiver. Okay. Defensive-led football team with an elite pass-catching tight end, understood, but he ended up working the entire field. This could potentially make Jalen Hurts have to become a better processor. And if that's the case, you could look at this trade and view that as a positive note, where now he's not just going to be able to say, crap, I got nobody. Let me throw it to AJ. Oh, crap, there's nobody open. I know AJ down there somewhere. Let me yeet it down the field. Not that he necessarily did that on a consistent level, but whenever it was one-on-one coverage, whenever it was man coverage and he saw that, he knew exactly where 11 was going to be, and he just threw the ball in that man's direction. Doesn't necessarily have that excuse anymore. Now you have to become a better processor. Now you have to become a better passer. Now you have to become a better anticipatory thrower. And maybe, just maybe, if you look at what the Green Bay offense is, what the the name escapes me. San Francisco's offense is, guys who run this West Coast style offense. Atlanta's a good example. All of them, hell, even the Rams, all of them are based on the run game and supplementing it with the pass. Outside of the Rams, none of those other teams have a 1A wide receiver. Drake London can play in Atlanta. We know that, but he's not A.J. Brown's level. San Francisco. Yeah, they had Debo and Brandon Ayuk, but again, not 1A type of guys. The Rams are an exception. Even the Seahawks are an exception because they have JSN. Green Bay, notorious for them saying, wow, every guy can play. Every receiver is just a good player. They've never had a 1A type of guy with this offense. What changed Green Bay's offense was having Josh Jacobs in the backfield. What changed San Francisco's offense was having Christian McCaffrey in the backfield. What changed Atlanta's offense was getting Bijan Robinson in the building. What changed the Rams was their run game. This offense is predicated on having an exceptional run game, and they have that with Saquon Barkley, at least on paper they do. We will see what this offense brings in the future with now having no A.J. Brown. But you don't need the elite wide receiver to win in this league. You need a few things that Philadelphia, I believe, has. An elite defense that doesn't turn, and they don't turn the ball over. They have a run game that can be effective, and we saw it 2 years ago. It was effective. And now you have a quarterback who's put on pressure now to be able to process the rest of the field. Can he go through his progression? Can he throw on time? Does he not have the crutch of A.J. Brown anymore and have to utilize every receiver on the field? He's got the security blanket in Dallas Goedert. He's got Devontae Smith. Let's see what Jalen Hurts can do now. The pressure is on Jalen Hurts. The pressure is on Nick Sirianni. This offense, again, the pressure is on them to produce. And I am not listening, and I'm not sitting here saying they need to win 12 games with an elite offense and go to the NFC title game. That's not my belief. What I believe I want to see is just a fluid offense. In my opinion, that's going to take some time. And because of the time it's going to take, they're only going to win 9 to 10 games. And that's what this trade finalized for me. They are officially in rebuild mode. They are not looking to compete for a Super Bowl this year. They're looking to make a change at quarterback and head coach within the next couple of years. And they want to see if Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni can hack it. That's what this trade finalizes for us. This is going to be a very, very interesting season for the Philadelphia Eagles. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, that's all I got. Let me know your comments and thoughts in the comments section below. We will see you back here next time for the next episode of the Riding the Bench Eagles podcast. Hey. Thank you so much for watching the Riding the Bench Eagles podcast. If you want to continue to support the channel, please hit the like and subscribe button down below. Also, check us out on Instagram and TikTok at Riding the Bench Eagles Pod. We're also on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, you name it, we're on there. Thank you so much for listening, and please join us next time here at the Riding the Bench Eagles podcast.